Hey everybody, happy long weekend. Welcome to Etc. on the Vibe Live. I'm your host, Kelly Barrett. I am beyond thrilled today because I have an artist, super talented guitar player, singer for a band that I grew up listening to from my hometown of Regina, Saskatchewan. Please welcome Kevin Fyhn of Queen City Kids. Hi, Kevin.
Hello, Kelly.
How are you doing?
What an honor to be on your show. I think it's fantastic. I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing great.
Well, thank you for being. It's an honor for me to have you here. As I said, we're both from Regina. I grew up sneaking into bars to see you. I traveled to see you, and so I'm beyond thrilled to have you here today in the flesh.
I was going to say that speaking of sneaking into bars, we started playing in bars when we were doing things at the university called pub nights and anything that had alcohol. And we were doing that when we were 15 and 16 years old. So we had special permission to go into the bar to do the show. But in the breaks, we had to leave and go somewhere else. Right.
Speaking of young Kevin, before I forget to mention, is it true that the Queen City Kids backed up Rush when you were like 16 years old?
Yeah, we did. It was their first album. I think it was 1975. And we did Regina at the Trianon Ballroom. If anybody remembers the Trianon Ballroom, yeah, fantastic venue. That was like before the Center of the Arts kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a soft seat theater, but there was less venues to play. But yeah, we did that. We played in Melville in an arena with them. They were doing it was In the Mood was their first hit, right?
Young band, it must have. Were you slightly? Was there any blown away?
I was scared shitless for one thing, but it was great, And just I'm going to say that just about everybody that we played with over the years were so gracious and so nice and kind. There was the odd ones that turned the monitors off on us or something like that, but we were so trained. Because when we rehearsed, we didn't even have monitors in the early days. So we were trained to, we don't care if you turn the monitors off. We're still going to sing. We could still do the harmonies and all of that because that turned out to be very good training in those early years for sure.
I would imagine. Well, what a claim to fame at such a young age. And, we were talking about, my people are just popping in. The comments are flying in already. I'm just going to start with you. Hi, UC. My buddy UC is just saying hi, guys. Harold K. Smith is saying great band, My Black Box.
Nice.
Doug Corby, hello. Mike Lavelle, hi, buddy. Yeah, people are. Oh, there's my sister. She probably saw you a few times too, and didn't tell my mother that I was sneaking into bars.
Is she younger than you?
No, she's my older sister.
Oh, okay. She was sneaking you in.
No, I was probably sneaking in behind her back and my mom's, but nice. She knows now. So, Kevin, I have a funny. Do you remember the Paddock?
Oh, do I remember the Paddock?
So, and a lot of people, we're going to have some Regina views in here. We'll remember the Paddock. I remember sneaking in to see you guys, and I'm kind of waiting in line, and I get to the head of the line, and I notice that my science teacher is the doorman. He's moonlighting as a doorman. And I'm like, I am not turning around. I will get expelled, but I'm going to try and get in. And I remember getting to the front, and I showed him my fake ID, and he just rolled his eyes and waved me.
Right. Hang on.
Coolest teacher.
Your science teacher was the doorman?
Yes, he was this big muscular guy, and he was moonlighting as a doorman. So I was in high school.
Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. We signed. You know what? We signed our first record deal. Or management deal at the Paddock. I remember because they had the restaurant beside it.
Right.
And we went in there and had a steak and lobster dinner with a bottle of Dom Perignon and signed our lives away. I'm not going to say anything more about that. It was exciting at the time, but early contracts that we signed were not great. But anyway, it's all good.
Great.
You know what? We ended up we may not have made a whole bunch of money or anything like that, but boy, did we have fans out there and people that followed us. And every gig we did when we were whatever town we were in, we had friends. They'd have us over for barbecues. It was everybody opened their hearts and their homes, and it was fantastic. Met a lot of great people.
And really, at the end of the day, Kevin, isn't that the kind of stuff you look back on and remember with the fondest of memories? Really?
I was scheduled to go when we graduated from high school, uh, I was gonna go. I was gonna go into dentistry, and we all had really good marks, everybody, and some we were maybe go to school. Oh, well, let's just go out and travel for a year and see what happens, right? Yeah. Well, there you go. and
Right.
and it was what a great education. It's just fantastic.
Oh, the travel and the experiences and everything. You
Yeah.
can't put a price on that,
Yeah.
hey? And funny, my best friend from those years, Marilyn Wall, she says, with me, you were sneaking in with me.
Oh, really?
That's awesome.
That's
Got to see her for the first time in 30 years, a couple of years back when I came back to Regina too. So a lot of people piling in here. And you were just mentioning the fans were the best. They're still here, Kevin. They're still here. They're still here.
I know. Well, all the gigs that we've done in the last 20 years, I mean, it was always sold out shows.
Yeah.
And it just blows my mind. But yeah, they're out there. They're out there. And I'm the same way. If if Harlequin comes to town or Trooper or any of those guys, Chilliwack and Loverboy and Streetheart. I mean, I'm the first one there. I'm the guy buying the first ticket. So
100%. Yeah, we have so many great Canadian artists. I'm so proud. I'm so proud to celebrate them on this show. Mike Herman. Do you know Mike Herman?
Mike Herman.
I kind of have a feeling he knows you. He's saying, "Hey, Kevin, good to see you, brother. Kevin and I worked together on a film, and we're going to talk about that."
Oh, nice. Okay.
Do you know him now? It rings a bell.
Yeah.
Okay.
I you know what? I'm terrible with names, and if I saw his face, I probably would. But or find out what he ask him what he does for what he did on the show.
Okay, and I'm sure Mike's listening, and he'll let us know that, and we'll get back to it. UC's just saying thank you for the incredible music and memories. Gotta love the paddock. Perry Boyko is saying there's a lot of Regina fans here.
Nice.
And it's really good that all the fans are here because we pretty quickly here. You have your own coffee too. Look at you go, Queen City.
I love that. Robert Young, who started that, Writers and Rockers. He is one of the oldest fans. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Sorry, Robert. But he was a big fan in Winnipeg, and what a guy, what a brain, what a oh man, he's so cool. And he just started this coffee thing. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it now because I'm sure Kelly, you're talking about it on the shows. But just like it's one of those things where he just started because he loves coffee,
right?
And he loves rock and roll, and he somehow got an idea to mix it together, and he does. It's real coffee. It's made from the beans. The beans are done in where is it, Oshawa or someplace in Ontario, and these people have been doing it since 1948. And they even have a special blend that they made for the Queen of England.
I heard that, and the coffee's been featured on the Oscars and MTV.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant concept.
So the Pumps, they have the song "Coffee with the Queen,"
right?
So that's their blend
right.
for the Pumps coffee.
I know, it's incredible. And Strange Advance, they're coming out with one called "Run We Run." So as of last week. So you got another friend in there. What you got there? That's the Harlequin.
This is Harlequin, Sweet Things in Life. And it's bourbon infused vanilla bean, Colombian Supreme with bourbon infused vanilla bean. That's awesome.
It has a really nice. We were comparing our coffee selections before this show here.
That's right. Oh, and of course Trooper, Ray and Smitty. Hey, I heard that they sort of changed the subject, but I heard that they retired. But then I hear that they're playing at Shake the Lake this summer in Regina.
Trooper is still playing apparently, but I don't think there's any of the original members left. However, actually, Donnie Underhill is my guest next week. Donnie Underhill is one of the original members of Trooper. He's coming on the show next week.
Oh, good. You know what? I'm going to tune in because I'd like to know.
There you go.
Yeah, because
I
over the years we ran into just about everybody. Either on the Saturday night moving out or they're moving out, we're moving in, or whatever, right? So it was quite a little network out there for sure, all across Canada. Crazy.
Just a neat little community,
and as well because you were out there.
Yeah, exactly. No, I really love it. I've talked about this with a lot of guests. There seems to be a real camaraderie more so lately than maybe there was years ago, where musicians really have, they support each other and they root for each other. And
you know what? You know what? You know why that is, right? It's because
we're
there's no competition anymore. When you're young and you're doing it, you got all kinds. You're always competing with each other. And now, it's like with everything. As you age, everything mellows, and
you get graceful.
Yeah, you get more graceful for sure. I love
See,
it.
I was going to say maybe it was because we're Canadian, but you have an interesting concept too.
Well, Canadian is a big part of it. There's no question about it. Yeah, I mean, we don't have the arrogance that some other people do, but anyway.
You have another friend in the house here, John Canteluck. He's saying, Canty from Thunder Bay, your old
light man.
Oh
my God, John Canteluck. He used to do lights for us.
That's what he's saying. Your light man, sexy. He's calling.
Oh man, that's fantastic. How you doing, Johnny? I love it. Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. And we're going to give away some coffee here right away. We have two bags of autograph, not this bag here, but Robert Young has 2 bags of autograph by Kevin, Queen City Kids coffee, that we're going to be giving away with some trivia questions. So Mike Herman got back and said he worked in the transport department, and Rufus was the film.
Oh my God. Rufus was in Saskatoon, I believe, if I remember correctly. Oh my God. Yeah. Cool. How you doing, Mike? Now I know who you are. It's all good. Yeah, I've met a lot of people over the years, especially especially in rock and roll, and I've had a 30-year movie career, and I don't mean I'm in the movies, but 30 years in working in film. So I met a lot of good people.
For sure, it's creativity coming out all over the place.
Oh yeah,
right, yeah. So Kevin, why don't we go ahead and give away one of those bags of coffee right now? So here's the way it's going to go. I'm going to ask a trivia question, and we're going to make it real easy. The first person to drop it in the comments the correct answer will win the first bag of Queen City Kids Dance Blend Coffee. So the big skill testing question is, what was the Queen City Kids original name prior to Queen City Kids? So that's the band's Queen City Kids name prior to Queen City Kids. The first person to get the right answer. Kevin,
I almost gave it away.
Don't give it away. Oh, we got it. One guess. No, UC said Straw Dog.
Oh my God, Straw Dog. Okay, well, Straw Dog was a good answer, but the Alex Chewacki, the lead singer, he had a band after we broke up. He had a band in the '90s called Straw Dog in Winnipeg
with Kenny Shields, right?
Yeah. Yes, Kenny Shields played with him for a little bit too. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. I played with Kenny too in 1989. I was guitar player for him.
I heard that. We have a winner.
We do.
And you know what's really cool? He's from Regina. So Perry Boyko, I think he's from Regina. He says Cambridge. Tell him what he wins, Bob. Ding, 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 ding. Right, there it is. Good job, Perry Boyko.
What a good-looking group of guys, eh? Can you tell
Lovely.
Which one is me?
I think you're on my far right.
Yeah.
Am I right? Look at you, cutie patootie, with all your hair.
We all had hair.
What an awesome memento. Speaking of mementos, what's that gold shiny round thing behind your head there, Kevin? Is that a gold album?
Oh yeah, that's
oh look.
Oh look. Surprise, eh, everybody?
Oh, that old thing.
Yeah, it's that's a gold record for the first album. Queen City Kids. Not Black Box. Black Box came this close to being a gold record. I think you have to sell 50,000. I think we're at 49.9.
Oh no. We attempted to run out and buy the other 1,000.
Oh yeah. On the budget we were on, I could go and buy 100 albums, sure. Anyway.
But when the second album, Black Box, came out, though, that the hit Dance was on that and was a huge success.
Yeah. Well, huge. You know what? But it was also the start of the end of a relationship with the record company, and there was many things, management and blah blah blah, which was in the end ended up being the demise. And we actually we broke up because we just couldn't get any contract deals together properly, and I don't really want to go into it because it's the old story. And so it kind of the Queen City Kid Black Box kind of fell off a little bit, and then Columbia Records was sold to Sony, and oh yeah, it's been a long thing of that. We've been, we were trying to find our original tapes of our albums, our master tapes, and apparently they were destroyed. So there's always things that happen that you have no control of.
Unfortunate things like that, yeah, as well.
But we still have the fans, and that's all I care about.
That's what, right on. I love that, Kevin, because true story, right? True story. And that same year I was reading, and I had not heard of this, which surprises me. But in that same year that the Black Box album came out, you guys caused quite a stir in a little Mennonite community in Manitoba.
Oh my God,
that's an interesting story that you have to share.
That was a long time ago. I can't remember what year it was, but
82.
Was it 82? Okay,
yeah.
So we were a very popular band in Winnipeg, and Harlequin Pumps, Street Heart. That's where we're all from. Even though we're from Regina, we moved to Winnipeg in 77, I think, 77, 78. But we always called ourselves a Winnipeg band.
Right.
But the thing about that was we got booked to do the gig, and it was a high school. It was a high school, right? And of course, yeah, you're right. That's a very, very heavy duty Mennonite town, and the town went nuts, right? And then it was front page news of the Winnipeg Free Press, and
because they canceled it, they
canceled it. Yes, and they tried for a long time to get us to come back, but it just never worked. And it was just a huge story, and I don't even know how we got involved in it. It was just because the school booked us through the agency. We got booked, and then we were told, well, no, it's canceled. We're done. So whatever.
And people went nuts, and people, like the students walked out and they were protesting. It was national news. It was news.
It was like they were marching on the streets of Steinbach. I mean, come on.
The two streets of Steinbach.
Yeah, the two streets. Yeah, well, there's a credit union on one corner, and the rest is car dealerships.
And I also heard that it was referenced later in the works of author Miriam Tews in a book called A Complicated Kindness. She actually referenced that.
I heard
whole
that
episode. And
I heard that. Yes. Yeah. I never read any of that, but I definitely heard about it for sure.
Yeah, and I was reading this is just funny to me. One of the students was like, help, I'm a faceless victim of the Hanover School Board, and rockers have rights too. And it just that's badass, Kevin. That's pretty badass.
Oh, we were badass, Kelly. I'm telling you. I mean, it was not a good thing we did out there.
So I need to with some pretty neat acts as well. Like aside from Rush, Ozzy Osbourne, April Wine, Blue Oyster Cults.
We did lots of tours. We right after Black Box album came out, we did a couple of big tours as warm-ups, and the Aussie was probably the biggest one. Is that me? Anyway, we did the Aussie tour, and in Eastern Canada, we played Hamilton and Toronto, and I think we played Quebec City. And let me tell you, as a young rock group coming out, I mean, I don't know if it was the right match with Ozzy Osbourne and us, but I didn't think we were that hard a rocker. But at the same time, when we went to the shows, the only thing that you could hear from the audience was pounding on chairs and slamming and saying Aussie, 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 and it was extremely intimidating.
I bet.
Extremely intimidating.
But, speaking of the genre of your music, as to whether or not you were heavy or not, one of the things that I personally always loved about the Queen City Kids is, the way you guys could crunch out like straight up rock, like like Dance or Kids World. Or I was listening to that today. Love that song, Carrying the Stick. And then you guys could also shift over to some really hauntingly beautiful power ballads, like like Girl or Secret Smoke. And I always love that about you guys. Just that ability to just sort of segue into the softer stuff as well.
And I'm not sure, are you hearing a bunch of noise in the background? No?
I am not.
Okay, so then maybe it's just me. Could be my headphones. A lot of that may have stemmed from, there was everybody in the band were writers, and we definitely had a softer side, uh, and it may have come from when you're going on the road and you're playing in bars, and you're aware of this. Um, you get into some places where they don't like your music. You could be billed as a headliner in the bar or whatever, and some people don't like your music. So we kind of, and we would adjust our sets sometimes to, okay. I remember at one point in the late '70s, we were all wearing spandex and that kind of thing, right? And we were playing in Red Deer at a redneck bar. I don't know what it's called. No offense to Red Deer, everybody. But it wasn't, it was a bunch of cowboys. And so I remember our first set, we were all wearing all the spandex and, and slippers probably, or dance shoes or something, right? Because we're a fairly physical band, lots of movement. And I remember after the first set, we went upstairs and we all put on blue jeans and cowboy boots and came back down and did the next set, right? Just funny little things like that. But yeah, I mean, we all grew up loving the Beatles. We loved the Stones. We loved Aerosmith, and of course, the Beatles are. We had our band had good harmonies, and I think a lot of that came from the Beatles.
Super good harmonies, and it's because three of you sang vocals.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love this, Kevin, about you guys, because you're still, like, up until not that long ago, doing reunion tours with the same people.
Yes, including our sound man, Mike Martin. Hey, Mike, I don't know if he's out there, but we all, we formed this band when we were 11 and 12 years old. I'm the baby of the band. I was 11. And the same people all the way through, and that's a pretty good accomplishment for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that with any of the bands from that era that I've.
Yeah, when we did go out and play, it was just like it was like a family reunion.
I would imagine
a family reunion of every show. It was just fantastic.
What do you think attributes to that, Kevin? Like, what do you think it is? Because a band becomes a marriage of sorts.
Yeah.
And what do you think it is that had that sustainability where you got the cohesiveness that just kept you guys together all those years without people leaving?
We all went to the same school, and when in grade school, Roman Catholic school, we had great music teachers, and when we went to high school. We all lived in the same area in Regina, in Whitmore Park. So you could either go, and back then it was taxes, what your parents paid as taxes, which school you would go to. So some of us could have gone to Campbell, and some of us could have gone to Campion High School, which was an all boys school, run by the Jesuit priests, and we all decided to go to that school. And I don't know. It's our upbringing. We all come from great families. John Donnelly's got, I think he's got 10 siblings, and they're all in different areas of the entertainment world. And it's just, I don't know. We were really good friends before we were a band, I guess.
I think that goes a long way, because I guess it just becomes like a family after a while.
Yeah, and luck of the draw. I mean, we're all in our mid-60s now, so the odds say that one of us might not even be around, kind of thing, right? I mean, that does happen to bands too. But you're right, marriages get in the way, but we always stay close and stay in contact.
Right on, good stuff. So UC, there's a question here for you, Kevin. So UC wants to know, Kevin, do you still have that amazing BC Rich Mockingbird? Or was that an eagle? He's saying.
I have. Yes, I have that amazing BC Rich. It's not a mockingbird. It's a rich bitch. That's the model. It's a rich bitch. It's a 10-string that I modified and took it down to 6 strings, and it became my number one guitar. And of course, I still have it. I also have 2 matching ones that I have bought since then. Because I kind of got into collecting, as I started to have a little extra income, in my later years, I now every movie that I go out and do, I usually buy one guitar. So yeah, I've got a few. But yeah,
Nice.
thank you for asking. It's a fantastic guitar, and I should probably also tell you that I bought that guitar from Street Hard.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
When it was after John Hannah left the band, so it would have been after their second album, and I think he only used it in one song, and it might have been "What Kind of Love Is This?" Perhaps, I'm not sure, but he only played it in one song. But anyway, after he was gone, then it was for sale, so I bought it. And funny because I mean we had the same management as Street Heart, right? So
right,
we saw each other all the time.
So
Anyway, thanks for that question.
Yes, thanks, UC. Oh, and congratulations again. Perry's given me his address in full for his coffee. That's awesome. We'll be giving away another bag. But Kevin, you just mentioned movies, and so you have kind of launched off into another form of creativity in the industry too. So do you want to tell us about the movie business?
Well, it's not a long story. After the band broke up in the mid '80s, '83, I guess. I was in Winnipeg floundering around. I think I was working at the Keg, and I was working for IATSE doing stage work because I knew one thing. The people that we did know in all the arenas and things that we played at, you always got to meet the IATSE crew, right. Which is the Union of Stage and Theater Alliance Group or whatever. And one day he phoned me. One guy phoned me, and in Winnipeg, in Manitoba, IATSE looks after the transportation department in movies. So he phoned me and he said, "Hey, would you like to come and drive on a movie?" And I said, "Drive on a movie? What are you talking about?" And he says, "Well, no, you're going to get a van and you're going to pick up actors and you're going to, you might have to run for coffee, you might have to do whatever." And I said, "Okay, sure. I'm not doing nothing, right?" So I went out and did it, and that was it. I was hooked, and I worked my way up to become a transport coordinator, and then I started. And what a transport coordinator does is looks after the day-to-day travel of all the cast to and from sets, studios, picking them up from airports, all of that. And then I also got into the equipment side of it, and I bought a bunch of equipment. I bought hair and makeup and wardrobe trailers, and I had fuel trucks and water trucks, bathrooms, and it became a big industry. And in the late '90s and 2000s, in Regina, we had a fantastic tax credit here, and so I did all the seasons of Corner Gas. All the stuff that was shot here, I pretty much had something to do with it. And it's became a real deal. And then a year and a half ago, I sold most of my equipment because I'm trying to get that exit strategy into the sunset, if you know what I'm saying.
I do.
I'm semi-retired. I still have a few pieces, and most of my pieces work in Calgary. I've got some good connections in Calgary, and they're on a big show right now called Joe Pickett Season 2. Which is I'll do a promo. How's this? It's on the Paramount. It's done by Paramount, so it's on the Paramount Plus network, and it's kind of a Western, kind of a I don't know. It's got a little Yellowstone-ish to it, right?
Oh,
so apparently it's doing very, very well. So I worked on it last year, but this year I'm taking the whole summer off because.
Why not?
When I'm 64, I just turned 64. So I decided.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, thanks. I decided, the hell with it. I'm gonna go. All I've done my whole life is work, and I decided I'm gonna go and do some living.
Good for you. And how nice of you to you've worked your butt off all these years and paid your dues and worked, and to have that luxury. Good on you. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, all the guys in the band, John, Alex, and Jeff, everyone's really successful. They're all out at the coast. They've been asking me forever to come out there, but I don't know. There's just something about Saskatchewan that I love. I love winter. I love skiing. I love, I find it a real challenge to get all dressed up and go and shovel the driveway. And everyone thinks I'm crazy, but I've worked everywhere, and like people that live in Vancouver, well, they can have it. I love the city. It's great. Nice place to visit. But if I had to go to work every day and that traffic and all of that, I mean, when I go to work in Regina or whatever, it's like 5 minutes anywhere, right?
Right,
So
right.
that gives you a lot more live time, and quality time.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I love that. I love that you stuck to your roots and you're back home and I agree with you, Kevin. There's just something about home. Like I haven't lived in Regina since I was 18, but I get home every Christmas and I love it. And I love the snow too. I love the shift in seasons.
yeah, and the other thing is the quality of life that we have here in Saskatchewan is really good. It's a reasonable place. It's not out of whack. It's
It's not
not,
overly
like you
expensive.
get, the housing market is decent. And these three prairie provinces, Manitoba, Alberta, Saskatchewan, it's been like that for a long time. And, you go to Vancouver, you go to Ontario, Toronto, or Montreal or whatever. I mean, you can't afford to live there.
Exactly. Yeah. Toronto's insane.
Yeah, there's a lot of musicians that work in film. A lot of musicians that work in film. There's a bunch in Winnipeg that Johnny Missick is another guy that played with Kenny for a while. He owns a bunch of equipment there, and he's going strong. And even Kenny Shields was a driver in Winnipeg on the movie.
Right, eh?
Oh yeah, he was fantastic. Yeah.
That would be pretty cool if you're, getting picked up and then you're getting picked up by Kenny Shields. If you're,
yeah. Oh, and he was such a character.
He was. I met him. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, what a guy and what a jokester. And he would play it up. If somebody actually recognized him, he would go, "I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. No, I don't even know the guy." That kind of thing. So I thought it was he was just I miss him a lot.
Oh, 100%, 100%. It was devastating to lose him. It really was. Yeah. But we have a question here, and Ronnie Horn wants to know, what movies did you work on?
Oh God.
Think any off the top of your head?
You know what? That's a hard question for me to answer. I've done so many. I did Sins of the Father in Regina with, you know what? It would be better if he just IMBD'd me.
There you go. IMBD.
Yeah. IMBD. It gives you a list of all the shows that I've done because, remember I'm 64. So I don't remember.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So Mike Herman is saying all the actors were thrilled to be picked up by Mike Herman.
Good for him. That's awesome.
And Robert Young. So Robert Young, as most of you know, is my official show sponsor. He's the Robert Young that Kevin and I were just speaking of.
Robert Young.
Writers and Rockers Coffee. He's saying, "Oh, good, now Kevin can come work for us."
Oh, I met him and his wife, like I said, 3-4 weeks ago, and I walked in and it was just an immediate. We just clicked. It was just great, and his wife's fantastic, and just he's got some great stories, and I look forward to seeing him the next time I'm in Winnipeg. I bought him. You know what? I have to say I'm not a coffee drinker, but I know that most of the world is. So it's quite a little concept he's got going there, and we're excited just to anytime you can see your name go out and keep something alive. Sure. I think take it, and all this stuff is just I'm just shocked by the people that are out there that remember and are interested, and oh my God, it's fantastic.
Great. Well, I am a coffee drinker, and Robert Young has single-handedly turned me into a bit of a coffee snob. So.
Oh, good.
It's like now I have all this fancy coffee that Robert sends me. It's like Maxwell House.
Yeah.
On your bike.
By the wayside.
Yeah. So, getting back to the music for a second here, Kevin, because I did have a couple of questions about the writing process as far as some of these hit songs went. And one song that really, really has always struck a really deep note with me is Excitement of Love. And I always wonder, because it's such a hauntingly powerful melody, what was the inspiration behind that? And I'm hoping it wasn't a real life situation, but
it was a real story.
It really was. Hey?
It was a true story. A couple of kids, I'm not sure where it was. The lyrics were written by Jeff Germain, the drummer, and the music was written by the band. And that inspiration was these two people were so in love. They were very young, and they drove into the side of the school, kill themselves.
Like on purpose?
Yeah, on purpose. Yeah.
Just like a Romeo and Juliet sort of
a
scenario.
Romeo and Juliet story. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Right. So you took your writing inspiration right out of the headlines, and some of the other songs. Where did the inspiration come from? Like Girls. Where does that come from?
Okay, so that was Alex's song, and it originally was called Words. Words. They always lie. They always, that kind of thing. And before we recorded it on the album, we revamped it and and made it Girls. All seem to say, all seem to leave, all seem to, and that's how that came about. That's a fantastic song.
It's a beautiful song, and we're not offended. We're not offended.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Okay, so Mike Herman is saying, Kelly, you and Kevin might know my cousin from Kelowna, Tad Goddard.
Who?
He's name dropping. He's admitting he's name dropping. Okay. Tad Goddard is his cousin, apparently. Tad, of course, is the drummer for Prism.
Right.
Yes, we do know Tad. Tad pops in from time to time.
Absolutely.
He does so. So I don't know. Why don't we give away another bag of coffee?
Yeah, Prism's playing in Regina at the Shake in the Lake, I think, this summer in August.
Oh, that's quite the party too, I guess. Hey,
It's in its infancy. I think it's only been. I think it started right before COVID, and then they missed one year, and they did it last year, and they do it outside in front of the Center of the Arts, which is a great venue. Outdoor.
At the Center of the Arts.
Yeah, if they've got nice, I guess they call it the Connexa Center here now. I still call it the Center of the Arts because I played there. Too. Yeah. Okay, let's give some coffee away.
Let's give some coffee away. Okay, so here's the next trivia question to win another bag of, and these are autographed bags of coffee, by the way, as I think I mentioned that. So, according to Queen City Kids, when are parents not so bad? According to Queen City Kids, one of their songs, when are parents not so bad? So the first person to answer that correctly will have a bag of coffee shipped off to them. So,
well, you know what, Kelly, you got me. I don't even know the answer to that.
I figured it was a good one.
That is a good. You dug for that one, didn't you?
I did.
I think I know what it is.
I figured one easy. Oh, and guess who just won?
Who?
Mike Herman.
Oh, really? Awesome.
I think he kind of deserves it. He's been pretty interactive here. So Mike Herman has the right answer. Was when they do what they're told.
When they do what they're told. And that's Excitement of Love, isn't it?
No.
That's Kids World.
That's Kids World.
Kids World, of course.
Right. Okay. Parents aren't so bad when they do what they're told. And I bet there's all kinds of parents listening that don't necessarily find that funny.
I want to show another picture if I can. Hang on.
Please do. Yes, probably parents don't find that funny. I'm not a parent, so I thought it was brilliant, but it's a great line. It's a bit of a cheeky line.
This would have been in 70, 78 maybe. But here is our band. I don't know if you can see it. There,
I can see that
picture. Try and get the glare off of it.
I can see it.
That was us at Alex's parents' house in Ottawa. We're doing a gig, and Mike Martin is on this side right here. He's our sound man, and the man on this side, Gilles Parizeau, was our light man from Winnipeg at the time.
That is so cool, and you still have that.
Oh yeah, I'm a bit of a pack rat. I don't know if I want to tell you, but I come by it honestly, believe me. Anyway, congratulations, Mike, on winning that coffee, man. Right on.
Yep, good stuff. So Kevin, what's next for you in a perfect world? Like, where do you see yourself? Doing more creative things, more movies, venturing off to something different.
You know what, Kelly? My plan is what I really would like to do is travel. I want to go see the world. I want to go through Europe. I want to go first class if I can afford it. But that's my plan. As a matter of fact, before COVID hit, I was actually in that whole process of getting, of becoming semi-retired, maybe just doing the odd movie or whatever. And I was going to go travel, and then COVID came in, and boy, did that ever change the world.
Oh, tell me about it.
And now it's like. We're free to travel, et cetera, but Jesus, I mean, with the stuff going on in Russia, et cetera, it's just a crazy world, man. You just don't know what's going to happen. So, I bought myself a diesel pusher last year,
Right.
which is a big motorhome, and so a year after I buy it, diesel goes to $2.20 or 30 cents a liter. So now it's twice as much to go travel, but I'm going to do it anyway. I was planning on taking this. I'm going to, like I said, I was going to take the summer off, and I just want to go out and see the world, visit friends, and just just live some life.
Good for you. Like, just enjoy.
Have some good meals and some good wine and good friends and good family.
See the sights. Hey, do you think, Kevin, that the whole COVID experience shifted for you, like maybe shifted your way of thinking as far as what's really important in life? I think it did. It did for me, for sure. Absolutely. Do you think it affected you in that way as far as how you view life and living and getting on with things?
Yeah. You know what? For a lot of people, I'm pretty sure it made them think. Well, it's showing in the world because a lot of people left their jobs and guess what? They're not going back. Right. Because they've finally realized that your life could could be gone, or I mean it's a serious devastation what it did to the world, and there are so many people, there's so many conspiracy theories, there's people that are just absolutely terrified of going anywhere, and so you're caught in that in between. It's like now there's you can go to concerts and with 5, 6, 7, 10, 20,000 people, and and some have masks on, some don't, and it's just a terrible thing to have happen. And unfortunately it's got a lot to do with there's way too many people in the world. I hate to say that, but it's just getting so crowded, and I always said that something serious is going to happen. It's either going to be disease or it's going to be nuclear war. And we got some disease.
We're on the verge
now.
of both.
We got some disease now, and we're on the verge of nuclear war. I hate to say that, but like things can change in a heartbeat. So you have to get up and live every day. You gotta have your priorities straight, and just be kind to people, because God only knows that everybody needs some kindness in their life and some love in their life.
100%. Get busy living is the message, because we don't know. Like, we don't know.
That's right. We just don't know. So, and not only that, with the COVID thing, I mean, there's lots of people that are in poor health, and I think a lot of people that was a decision of their own why they're in poor health. Maybe not exercising or doing whatever, and I think that now people are a little more aware of all this, to be healthy, and you got to live every day. Like I said, every day is a gift, man. Every day is a gift. 100%.
I live by that. I absolutely do. I always kind of have, but more so after COVID and the crazy that's going on in the world.
Anything. It's like anything that happens to you that is life altering, whether it be a health scare or whatever, it makes you change your whole view, because a lot of people and a lot of rock people, they just go and they live hard, and I'm one of them. I live very hard, and you can't do that forever. And a lot of times in that you miss what's really important. So
100%.
You definitely have to redo you got a different checklist now when you get up.
Yeah, 100%. We were talking about that before the show, and it's like, you can't live that way it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, well, that's why you look like you're 30, because you stopped smoking and drinking and whatever, and now you're into coffee. I love it.
I'm such a coffee girl now.
Hey, and I don't know if Robert's listening, but I'm going to get some QCK coffee cups made, so maybe we can sell QCK coffee mugs with the coffee.
There you go. That's great. They have tons of merch, guys. I got my Writers and Rockers coffee mug.
Oh, nice.
They've got the bean grinders. They've got shirts, all kinds. So check it out, everybody. It's always, Robert's site is always on my Facebook page, so you can always check it out there. Here's a question for you, Kevin, on a slightly deeper note. So, for example, in 2007, Queen City Kids was inducted into the Western Canadian Music Hall of Fame. So that's definitely an achievement. Do you have it there?
Hey, just so happens.
Just so happens.
Yeah.
On the shelf of happiness.
What does it say? Yeah. Here it is.
Look at that. Isn't it cheap? Pretty.
Yeah, it's awfully shiny there. Maybe you can see it now.
It's beautiful. Right
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, they've got inducted into the Western Hall of Fame, Western Canadian Hall of Fame, and that tickled us pink.
I bet.
It was fantastic. And we did that little show. Like it was like an awards thing, and we did it in a plane hangar in Moose Jaw on the Air Force Base there. It was cool. Fantastic, and everybody's families were there, and it was a nice little thing. We had tributes from Kenny did a little tribute, and a Brent Butt from Corn of Gas came in and did a little tribute, and it was great. It was super.
I bet. So it's an accomplishment. But I have my question to you is, what are you most proud of? And I have a feeling it's not that.
What am I most proud of?
Yeah.
I'm most proud of the integrity that this band has had right from the get-go. Right from 11 and 12 years old. All we wanted to do was entertain, do the best we could, be kind. On the road when we were going up the ladder, you go into these hotels or these bars or wherever you're playing, and they always go, we have the band rooms are in the back.
Always, yeah.
The band rooms are in the back, and after a couple of times, because we were known as, we were the nice guys, like we didn't wreck anything, we didn't destroy anything,
right?
So very, very quickly, with a lot of these places that we played and did repeat gigs there, all of a sudden we were getting the best rooms they had in the house. And in Winnipeg we had some places where the maids would do our laundry, we would bring them flowers. I mean, it was just so I'm most proud of all of those relationships and all the things that we just had integrity and honesty. We did a couple of gigs where we were playing the Door, working for the Door, if you know what I mean, like money at the door. And believe me, there was lots of bomb gigs, shall we say? Not lots, but the odd one. And I remember going in to negotiate, and we were getting paid big money, and going into the office and negotiating with the owner or the vendor, and saying, hey, you know what? How about we just cut this in half or do something, and we'll try this again next time, because it's like biting the hand that feeds you, right?
Right. Yeah.
And who knows why the gig didn't go, because lots of places where we did that, we'd go back and it would be standing room only. So it could have been, it could have been anything. It could have been a long weekend. It could have been a hockey game. Oh, by the way, there's a hockey game on it, isn't there? Isn't Calgary playing at Edmonton tonight?
I don't know.
I forgot. Anyway, I think
it starts in 10 minutes. It starts in 10 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
So we'll have you to the game.
Okay, so no,
I'm the wrong girl to ask, because when people talk about this,
you know what I mean. Like, it could be anything. It could be weather. So we always made, when we left a gig, everybody had to have a good taste in their mouth, right, or we weren't leaving. And that was something that we did, and that's what I'm most proud of.
That's a great answer.
And all the people, all the good people that we met, and just fantastic.
Right on. That's a great answer. And as far as the hockey game goes, I think you got about 10 minutes left. I'm pretty sure it starts at 8. But I'm not the girl to ask, because my joke is, when people are talking about the Flames and Oilers, I'm like, oh, it's football season. That's kind of my.
I'm not a big sports fan myself, but I do like playoff games, and this particular season, or this particular round, is it's been 31 years since Calgary and Edmonton. Calgary and Edmonton used to have this going on all the time.
The rivalry,
the rivalry, and it's been a long time coming. So, and Edmonton and Calgary people are crazy.
They are.
I was in Calgary. I couldn't even get a room there on Friday night because of the hockey game. So I stayed in Strathmore.
Oh, wow.
I like little towns. Always have.
Yeah, they're quaint, eh? You know,
Yeah.
and you get a cheap room and a good meal, and
Yeah.
you know,
I'm so excited. I just love this. This is great. It's like going down memory lane, and I'm so glad you had me, Kelly. It's fantastic, and I'll come on anytime.
That's good to know, Kevin. It has been a real trip down memory lane for me too, and just to see the Saskatchewan folk, popping in on that.
You sneaking into the paddock. Oh my God.
I know.
Do you remember Scary Nights?
I do remember Scary. I snuck in there too.
The Hera Nights, yeah. The only bar in a shopping strip mall. Right. Oh my God. And all kinds of things happened there.
And not a place for a 16, 17-year-old girl. Not a place for a 17-year-old girl.
No, you're right.
But for me, it wasn't about the drinking or the partying. It was just, I just wanted to be in this business, and I just wanted to see people do their thing live. And sneaking into those bars is what inspired me to make that dream happen for myself.
When we were in Winnipeg, because we played there a lot, and we would try and like some bars, their last call was a different hour than So I remember as soon as we were done a gig, because I love Pumps and Harlequin, I love it all. I would rush over to those gigs and maybe get up and play a song with them or whatever, and then other bands would come to us to see our last couple of songs. It was just great.
Fantastic. Just good days, great. Well, and Kevin, it has been an absolute slice, just tripping down memory lane and talking with you about those, those good times, and the fans that are still here for you, that still love you.
Absolutely.
And I normally end with, one of my own thoughts, but I'm going to end with this thought. And this is from Ed Schoaf, because I think this sums it up perfectly. It sums it up well.
Okay.
Ed Schoaf says, "Music will always be the glue that keeps us all sane through this weird world. Thank you for your contribution, Kevin. Rock on."
Oh, man. Thank you very much.
Beautiful,
Thank you very much. That's fantastic. And I love all the fans. You guys are awesome. Stay strong, stay healthy. And if you're over 50, get your PSA score checked next time you go to the doctor.
Good idea. Good advice. Kevin, thank you so much. It's been an absolute
More than welcome. Thank you, Kelly.
All right.
And we'll do it again sometime. Thank you very much.
100%. Take care.
Thanks,
everybody, for joining me tonight. Don't forget to tune in next week. Donnie Underhill from Trooper will be here. Until we see you then, stay safe and sane. Be really nice to each other. Take care. Bye-bye.